She was stumbling around the middle of the road, shouting hysterically to no one in particular. I had only occupied the bench in front of Stout Street Clinic for about 2 seconds when I first heard her. She instantly got my attention as the curse words out of her mouth shattered the morning's peace. A horn blared, and the woman reluctantly dragged herself to the sidewalk, trailing profanities as she lugged her bags out of the way of impatient cars. As she walked closer to me, we made eye contact, and I did my best to offer a sympathetic smile. She looked exhausted and upset. Her hair was wild, her clothes unkempt, and she seemed to be holding back tears. All of a sudden, she asked me, "If someone sleeps with you and they don't tell you they got AIDS, it's rape, huh?" Without giving me a chance to respond, and I'm not sure how I would have, she dove into a story about an encounter she'd had the night before. I listened attentively and nodded, doing my best to string together bits and pieces of her story. The more she explained the situation, the faster she spoke. The faster she spoke, the more freely tears streamed down her cheeks. I felt so much for her. Finally, she stopped to take a breath. "I'm thirsty," she stated, matter-of-factly. Just the night before, I had made a trip to my neighborhood grocery store with the sole purpose of purchasing a LaCroix-flavored water to enjoy with my lunch the next day. I could feel its coolness through the bag on my lap that morning. I had no intention of parting with it, but I knew I could no longer enjoy it if I did not offer it to the thirsty woman in front of me. So, I offered it to her, hoping she would decline. Not only did she accept it, she immediately popped open the can and drained it. Impressive! As she wiped away the excess water dripping down her chin, a smile spread across her face. She sat down next to me on the bench and said, "That water saved my life." Since arriving in Denver, I've heard quite a few stories. Stories that are hard to stomach and often have no fairy tale ending in sight. Stories that leave me feeling heavy. Stories of pain, addictions, and broken relationships. Things that I can't fix. As my path unexpectedly and sometimes painfully intersects with others, I'm slowly learning what it means to acknowledge and embrace the stories as they come. It seems that mostly, people want to be sat beside and listened to. I don't have the capacity to solve the circumstances of these people's lives, but I can offer a listening ear and a cold LaCroix, which, surprisingly, takes a great deal of surrender. Trusting that God is holding that woman's situation in His hands is more difficult than trying, fruitlessly, to take care of things on my own. I'm finding that God's invitation into someone else's story is a beautiful thing, regardless of the role I play in their lives. Sometimes, just sitting on a bench with a cold drink can be enough. Next time, I'll bring 2.